I'm going to be as quick as to the point as I possibly can. I've labeled this um, this video uh, to bring attention to the words, the catchphrase, this bitch or bitch, um, because these are words that I hear frequently when I go into pretty much any time that I've gone to anywhere to make any purchases at any larger corporation establishment. And again, to realize the setup and how you're set up, and it's practically impossible, or feels practically impossible, to ever be able to escape what you've been set up for, regardless of your actual innocence. Um, and my hope is that someone who's experienced and picking up on the same kind of information um, that I'm speaking about, that I can form a team or an interested group of people who can help me without, again, using weapons or pornography or those types of marketing strategies um, to help me bring awareness to the inventory system and the purchasing system and the credit card system and all of those things that we were kind of warned about, where like there was just this little nugget that appeared on, and when you, unless you have experienced firsthand, it sort of just is like a little tiny seed. And I don't want that associated. I don't want the word seed associated with mustard seed in an opposite what my Christian belief system is. Um, but that and those particular words and the extent that I've heard them every time I try to make a purchase. And every time I get on my internet and the same, what is absurd to me, information, um, it is a setup, a predetermined setup. And I realize that, and does that I realize it makes it sometimes more frustrating and other times just plain like um that I know that everywhere that I go, unless I start being picked, unless my what I'm saying starts being picked up as a norm, and oh my gosh, she's saying that this that I experienced. Now, the guilty people they really zoom in on what I'm about to say right now because it's a way that I'm used by the people who have targeted me for dumping for as a dumping ground for their guilt of me. Um and uh to realize that the depth of corruption of not only my mind as a child when I was young, um, and the number of decades that I was unaware of how I was being set up and how I was being used um, within the computer technology world, and even when I still was naive of the computer technology world and how and the extent that it has controlled my existence. And um, to the extent that when I took computer technology classes, because I had uh, an interest in computer technology and learning computer technology, um, not with a conscious effort to combat Gene F. Henderson II and what he was actively doing in my life, because I didn't have such full comprehension or such full logical, not comprehension, because according to my own definition, I define comprehension as an understanding, a logical understanding that comes with a compassion towards the understanding and logical acceptance of the behavior. And I don't have compassion for Gene F. Henderson II or others who have gone out and created technology using innocent minds as a marketing um, so I have to make certain that I have logical understanding, not comprehension. Um, and when I had enrolled in computer technology classes, um, it wasn't with a conscious awareness of what it was all about. Um, I again, I'm not trying to let a former neighbor of mine from Bear Valley Village off the hook, because I honestly don't understand his. I've said before that I he used to seem to get, because people in the neighborhood would call out his name in the same way mine gets called out. So I don't know if he was an innocent bystander and being used also, and to the point that he had finally thrown his hands up, or I don't know where he is. I don't have communication with him, but these things have to be acknowledged out loud, because of the fact that I need to continue combating mindfully against what I've experienced. And there seemed to be, when I was residing at Bear Valley Village, um, my neighbor, for whatever reason, I was getting that he used to get really angry, and I didn't have communication with my next door neighbor. Um, like as in, hey neighbor, how you doing? Even though I lived there for right next door to him for more than a year, or a little less than a year, because I had transferred units from one to another. Um, but there seemed to be an anger that had built up since, or every time I went to the grocery store or to Target, for because Target is where I used to grocery shop, and still do at times. Um, um, and so now I'm seeing a completely different angle, and asking myself, what did he or what was the building anger every time I went to, because I was innocent and naive of the the subject that I'm talking about right now. What I did notice, and I've talked about this before, what I definitely noticed back then in 2007 was that every time the cashier scanned a, a product, that it was like ding, 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 ding. I felt like my mood changed with every um, scanning of every. Now, I don't, I'm trying to see, I'm trying to, uh, it, I'm certain that it still happens when I go to whatever grocery store that I'm, because I don't think it's not just Target that has this um, systemic setup. Um, it simply is the first plate establishment I noticed and wondered and asked myself, um, within my own thinking, gosh, it's strange. Why does that happen? Um, and now I can observe. I have observed when the inventorialists. I'm just coined my own phrase, unless it's already uh, been used. I've actually witnessed when the inventory teams are in and uh, performing they go in with equipment like the inventory teams have. Um, and I know that's what they're doing. I know that they're setting up setting up a categorizing system, uh, and possibly even creating their own, and that might be what Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is about. having the ability to go in with your own sort of inventory scanning system and charging and thereby like having your own um having your own like cashier's drawer, digital, like a digital cashier's drawer set up almost with the that's what it is. Oh my gosh, I just figured that out. That's my timer says. Very possible. It's very possible. Very and again, if I had the ability to do that, I would like for my biological children's fathers, both of them, to um, to contact me in real time that they might help me to um, establish them as a guardian of accounts, financial accounts for our biological children. Instead of handing over our biological children's financial uh, to in other words, when I know that my claims, financial claims, land ownership claims are real claims and valid, and my biological children's fathers are working against me, they're automatically working against my biological children and themselves because our biological children are intrinsically connected, viscerally connected to their father also. Um, it's, however, my very recent belief and acknowledgement uh, out loud that where I didn't used to have such a firm and strong belief that the biological mother's consideration and custody of her own biological children, we are the number one consideration in regard to having our children in our own custody. And that's above the biological father's choices or claims. As my phone rings with a spam risk tag on it. Because I now know that I've received clarification via my own thought processes of Bitcoin. And I already kind of started having a logical understanding of what cryptocurrency is about. And cryptocurrency is more, from what I can gather, just from what I hear, that it is that cryptocurrency is something that less desirable that for me and or my biological children to have anything to do with, because I think cryptocurrency has to do with activities I don't want to be involved in. And it's almost seems to me like a thuggery system whereby the inventory system is set up and uses thuggery mentality to force. And again, this isn't a directive. I'm not telling someone what to do here. This is not my intention for my words here to be used as, but the just within its description, crypto and currency, that it's like a revealance of what it's about within its own terminology. And therefore, I would imagine that cryptocurrency would be connected to electric cars and electric bicycles and stuff like that. And I don't want to be connected to currency. I want to be connected to oxygen and thought processes that aren't controlled or held in a subterranean level of existence. And that's when I can feel and hear my voice going, as though I'm a robot being